Warning. The following podcast was recorded by two idiots. It contains vulgar language, vulgar ideas, and poop jokes. If any of this offends you, blow it out your ass.
Son of a bitch bastard!
Let's start this again, shall we? Jesus Christ.
You're fucking retarded.
Hey, Pickle-Licker, want to play the right intro?
One more time.
Are you ready?
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Let Us Cast. I'm Andrew. With me, as always, is Bruce.
Hey, man, how's it going? I think we're finally getting our fucking, legs under us with this podcast shit. Now we just got to get the schedules to align.
Yeah, but that's what that's what happens when you're busy doing shit.
It's true. We have lives, man.
Yeah,
You're
we
busy,
have lives.
I'm busy. We're just two busy guys.
You're in like every band in the fucking world at this point.
I am. Yeah, chances are if you go to see a band right now, I'm in it somehow. Even if I just play Triangle, like, I'm there, man. Or I'm backstage, like, I'm that guy behind the curtain who's just like, ding, like, I'm there. I am ubiquitous.
Goddamn.
It's true, though. Being in three bands, like, to shoot three bands, like, that's a lot, man.
It is, man. But you know what, man? As long as you're happy, you're getting your creative outlet out there, man. Like, who gives a shit?
You know, who needs to work out when you're bouncing around on stage with a 10-pound guitar on your back? That's how I look at it. So if I'm in enough bands and I'm active enough, then then I can kind of have fun and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides, I could be doing worse things, right?
Could you?
I mean, theoretically.
I mean, in theory, I guess, but
I mean, I could be, like kicking puppies or something. Not that I would, but I mean, there are certainly worse things I could be doing for sure.
you start kicking puppies, sir. I'm driving up there and I'm kicking your ass.
I would kick my own ass. I'm a lover of all animals, sir. I'm like Ace Ventura, except I ain't beating up no mascot.
Goddamn! I'll go up there and kick your ass, and I'll kick your mom's ass for not swallowing, motherfucker.
Outlaw mud show bullshit.
Outlaw mud show puppy kicking, motherfucker.
Oh man. So what have you been up to, good sir? It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks because there's been a few things getting in the way. I think we had some tech issues. We had some scheduling conflicts. There's just been a few things here and there that have kept us from
Yeah,
this. So
I mean,
what have you been up to?
It's mostly been scheduling issues, but not too much. Been working. I'm excited because Tuesday I have some tickets for an advanced screening of Superman.
Nice.
So I'm gonna So yeah, I might be an emotional wreck after that.
It was so good. Crypto was amazing.
I mean, just from the trailers alone, yes, Crypto's giving it an automatic star.
Speaking of puppies, that puppy will kick your ass.
Yes, that puppy will kick the shit out of you.
Is it a puppy or is it a proper dog? I thought it was just like he's not a puppy anymore. He's just a dog, right?
I mean, in the comics, there's a dog, but I think in this
they start him off as a puppy.
He's starting him off as a puppy. So.
That's kind of cute. Then they could do little like crypto puppy dolls and shit. I'm sure,
They already have, yeah.
Of course.
They're doing that. They're incorporating him into popcorn buckets and everything. So it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like literally, like how like the movie theaters are coming out with like the specialty.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's a huge thing now for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, dude, because it's a huge market for fucking movie theaters now. Which, hey, good for them. They're able to make some more money and keep going.
Yeah. I don't know about you though. I'm not a big popcorn guy, so for me it's kind of a waste because it's like cool. I just got some kind of like a food that I don't even want to eat in the first place, and then I have this bucket that I'll probably never use because it's mostly made for this thing that I never eat. So, what's the point for me? Like, plus how much do they charge for? Like, what's the average one go for?
That all depends. It all depends if it's like first day that they're out or whatnot, or is this like further on down the line? Because like. There was a Karate Kid one that I had gotten recently. It looked like two bricks holding up a board, and the way you get to the popcorn bucket, you chop the board in half, it falls in, and you can reach in and get the popcorn. I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. That's unique.
Okay, yeah, that's dope. I'm not gonna lie.
When I first got it, it was like $25, but it comes with the popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, yeah, cool, whatever. Last time I went to the movies, they're like, hey, it's on sale for $15. I'm like, you sons of bitches.
Honestly, $15 isn't terrible. You know, I was thinking it was gonna be more. I'm glad that it's not, because some yeah, I don't know.
No, there is one I know. I'm going to tell you about this because I kind of want to see your reaction to it.
Oh no.
But it's a popcorn bucket for the new Fantastic Four movie.
Okay. Is it Thing related?
No,
Okay.
it's Galactus related.
Oh, okay, fair.
So it's the head of Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 20 inches tall, 17 inches wide. So it's a big popcorn bucket.
That's a big boy.
The eyes light up like this like eerie kind of bluish color and whatnot. And then you stuff the popcorn inside of his head, like you just fucking decapitated a motherfucker. They've already released the price for that. It's $80.
Oh, good lord. Yeah. No, I tap. I'm out. I tap. I'm done.
Some of them, there's one. It's like Mr. Fantastic's arms reaching around the popcorn bucket and like almost handing it off to you.
Reaching around.
Giving the popcorn the old reach around.
And handing it off to you. Yeah. I see how that's going.
No. No, but like some of like the Superman ones, I was like, all right, this is kind of adorable. I kind of get this, man. There's like one of them, it's like an actual dog dish for like Crypto. One's like it's just like a statue of Crypto and he's like holding the popcorn bag in his hand and whatnot.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's another one. It's like those old school like popcorn machines like you see in the movie theaters, and like Superman's heat vision is like blasting through it and popping the popcorn.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
I was like, all right, that's cool. There's another one. It's like if you go around town, you see like those like, hey, free newspaper things, like or like the old newspaper machines, like you open it up and there's fucking newspaper. Yeah, they have that, but inside it's all popcorn and looks like the Daily Planet and whatnot. I was like, all right.
Doesn't that suck? You open it, like you open the front, and it all just falls in your lap. You're like, what the? Oh man.
That's why you turn it.
I guess, yeah, but if you want to, be all like, really, goddamn, it's a shoe, motherfucker.
Bruce, you're inexperienced with popcorn this show.
Well, that's what I mean, man. I don't eat the stuff. It's just not my thing.
No, it's like I like popcorn and whatnot, but like the past few times I've gone to to the theater, I was just like, hey, I can't eat the popcorn. I just want the fucking container because this thing at least it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and now that they have Superman ones, I'm just like, you motherfucker.
Shut up and take my money.
Just take all of it.
Yeah.
But
see, I was always more of a candy guy when it came to the movie theater. I would get Junior Mints or something because I don't really eat a lot of candy. So like, if I'm gonna go to a movie, I'm gonna kind of make a thing out of it. So like, eventually they would put in like straight up pizza and stuff into movies, into movie places. But like before that, I wouldn't mess around with popcorn. I would usually just get like Junior Mints or something. That was kind of more my go-to.
The best thing I ever did was if you take popcorn and you mix it with like Bunch of Crunch or like plain M&Ms or whatnot.
Bunch of Crunch?
Bunch of Crunch, it's like the little clusters like the Nestle Crunch.
Not familiar.
It's like little clusters of like popped rice and chocolate.
Oh, okay. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You put that on popcorn, goddamn pal.
But see, that's the thing. Popcorn on its own, meh. Popcorn with something else, now we're talking.
Well, true.
That's popcorn in a nutshell for me.
Well, I mean, popcorn does need some help in the flavor department. Because if you just have like regular like air popcorn, like I gotcha. It's a boring fucking snack.
Yeah, I mean, kettle corn by itself is kind of like if it's legit kettle corn, that's pretty good on its own. I'll eat that. There was this company up in Maine that did their own. I think they were called Kettle Brothers or Kettle Bros or something. They would do like flavored popcorn. That was actually not bad. Like if I'm gonna eat popcorn, I'll go for that because they would do like peanut butter and chocolate, or they would do like jalapeno lime or something. Like they would do like all these cool flavors that were actually pretty good, man.
No, man, like just fresh hot kettle corn. That's fucking heroin to me.
Oh yeah, dude. You go to like King Richard's Fair and you get some of that. Forget it.
Dude, like,
you can smell it from like a mile away, and you're like a zombie. You just walk like straight to it. You're like, where? It's
like those old cartoons where it's just like you see like the scent waft like going towards somebody and like points on like
picks them up and yeah. Drags him over to the kettle corn.
Like, thanks, Bruce. I'll see you in a few minutes, pal.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you, kettle corn.
And I would have stolen that goddamn kettle if it wasn't so damn hot.
God damn, it's too hot for kettle corn.
Like, Andrew, this is why we wait for things to cool down and then you go for it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell you about this, man. Speaking of movies,
Mhm.
so Dogma had its like 25, 26 year, resurgence, whatever have you,
Yeah.
Kevin Smith and whatnot.
Yeah, they're coming up to Portsmouth, I think it is, in like a week or two or something like that. Very, very soon.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's sold out, but
Maybe. I don't know. I just saw an ad for it the other day.
and I know it's like 45 minutes away from you.
It is actually. It is.
It is. But they were doing screenings like at a theater in, I think it's like Lincoln, Rhode Island. It's like a half hour from my house. And I was gonna go up there. I was gonna go watch it. And I was like, I look at my mom. I'm like, you know what? I gotta get you out of the fucking house, because like she was still like kind of recovering from surgery at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, look, I'm going to a movie. I think you would like it. Just come with me. Get out of the house. And it's like, oh, well, I don't know. I was like, George Carlin plays a fucking priest. She's like, I'll meet you in the car. Like that was the selling point.
That's awesome.
And it did get some laughs out of her. I was like, fuck yeah.
I was wondering how she would react to that.
Her quote of the night, though, was like, after the movie, walking back to the car, it was like, yeah, so what'd you think? She's like, well, it was funny, and I really like that stoner guy.
That stoner guy.
I was like, Jay? She's like, yeah, he reminds me of a lot of guys I grew up with in Jersey. I'm like, oddly enough, he's from Jersey.
I know, right? Did you hang out with Muse?
Yeah, like, did he like die in a past life and then become this, and like you knew him and said past life?
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, my mom's laughing at like the rubber poop monster. She loved George Carlin, obviously.
I mean, how could you not? George Carlin is amazing. Was amazing.
George Carlin was a national treasure.
Oh yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that flick, but I've been meaning to kind of go back and watch it because it's a good movie. It's definitely one of his best.
Yeah, it's definitely Kevin's best.
Yeah, and I think he wrote it like not first, but pretty early on. Like he definitely wrote it before Clerks, if I'm not mistaken.
If I remember right, yeah, he did write it before Clerks,
Yeah.
but like he just couldn't do it on a low budget.
Right. I mean, there's a rubber poop monster, for God's sake. I mean, that costs money.
Salma Hayek's dancing around in her underwear. That's more than 37 grand right there.
37.
Hey.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. So that was definitely a fun time, man.
Nice.
I don't think my mom quite got like the point of the movie, but she's like, she was entertained. She got some laughs out of it. It's like, all right, that's the best I can hope for, at least.
Yeah. If nothing else, it's entertainment, and that's all you really need, right?
Yeah, I mean, main goal is like, all right, you know what? You're recovering from surgery. Let's get you out of the fucking house.
Yeah.
Like, just go somewhere
Keep
so
you
you're
occupied.
keep you occupied, so you're not sitting in your chair and just watching The Crown for the 5 billionth fucking time today.
The Crown? What's The Crown?
The Crown is a show on Netflix. I don't know how many seasons there are, but it's about like the British royal family.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, it seems like every time I go up there, she's just on her computer, just like playing a game on her phone or something like that, and there's the fucking Crown, and she's not even fucking watching it. I just put it on for background noise. I just enjoy it. It's like, look, I get putting something on that you've seen 1,000 times on as background noise, but usually it's background noise because you're doing like some activity, like, like if I was like working on like a paper in college, I'd have like Jaws playing on a DVD player. Like, I get it. But
what is she doing when she has it on? Nothing? Like just nothing?
Playing a game on her phone, or just playing a game on her laptop. That's it.
I mean, it's kind of the same. She's just not working. She's just chilling.
Yeah, but it's like, you have this time. You can watch other things. Like, we're not exactly short on streaming services here.
It's true. I have to admit though, I can't judge because I caught myself doing something absolutely ridiculous the other day. I want to say this was a couple weekends ago because I've been playing a lot of shows and I have a show starting this weekend. I have a show every weekend for the next 3, um, which is crazy. And one of them is a double shot, meaning 2 of my bands are playing the same night. And so anyway, I've got a lot going on, but it was a couple of weeks ago I was kind of practicing and fiddle farting around. And I had my laptop on, I had my phone, and I had my guitar, and I was playing my guitar while I had something playing on my phone and something entirely different playing on my laptop, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I have like 3 things going on at once. This is so like overstimulation and stupid. Like, what am I doing? I'm not paying attention to any of these 3 things, so I just kind of like had to figure out, all right, what do I want to do? Do I want to watch this? Do I want to watch this? Do I want to play guitar? And I don't remember what won out, but probably guitar.
Probably the guitar. Knowing you would probably be the guitar.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot lately.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got a lot of shows come up. You got to stay practiced.
Yeah. I really don't practice as much as I honestly should, and I feel guilty about it a lot. So I've been trying to find a way to squeeze in certain things into my schedule. Like I'm trying to actually get back into doing yoga in the morning, so I've got a schedule for that. I got to squeeze in some guitar and even like drum practice because I really love playing the drums. And I definitely find there are spells where certain things will happen or whatever, and I'll get way less passionate about it. Like I'm admittedly been, or just kind of coming out of a slump that I've been in lately where just I haven't really felt very creative or really even felt motivated to do a whole heck of a lot of anything. And there's a lot that goes into that, but without getting too like into the weeds on it, like long story short is I find myself now wanting to fit these things into my schedule, and so I'm trying to find time to like, hey, let's have an active like practice time, because if you don't, it's very easy to get complacent and be like, well, whatever, you know. So
yeah,
I mean, thankfully I'm the kind of person, and this isn't like tooting my own horn too much, I hope, but like even when
I turn the camera off.
What's up?
You're gonna toot your own horn, turn the camera off.
Yeah, right. That's for OnlyFans. But like certain things I can go a while without practicing and still be okay. Certain things I can't. Like I definitely have to, brush up on solos, or certain things are like for some reason certain parts will trip me up. So I will practice those, especially if I play something live and I'm like, oh shit, that was a train wreck. Like, it's sort of like note to self, like, hey man, you fucked that up like 5 times now, so like get your shit together kind of thing, but
yeah.
Thankfully, it's rare that I'm like completely off the rails,
Yeah, but it also kind of brings to mind the question of like, okay, at what point, do you allow yourself to stop and avoid like getting burnt out from it because you're stressing over like,
yeah.
I'm having trouble with some of the solos and whatnot. Like, how do you kind of like get ahead of like the burnout of it?
Honestly, by not playing a lot. That's really the thing. Like, I'm one of those people, and I've gone through these phases a lot actually, where, like, especially when I was teaching, like, it used to be that I would come home and hang the guitar up, and I pretty much wouldn't touch it after that. And I think it was because I was just doing it too much. So I think it really just comes back to stepping away from it, and that might mean that like certain things might slip, like I was just talking about these solos and whatever. That's why you got to be gentle with yourself, because it's like, yeah, these things might not be where you want them to be, but you're also feeling completely unmotivated to pick up the instrument in the first place. So just take a breather, it'll suck in the short term, but the long-term benefit of taking a small step back right now when you need it will mean that when you come back to it, like I'm kind of doing now, it'll just be like firing on all cylinders, and you'll be like, all right, let's go. Let's fucking get this shit done, get this fixed, and move on. Because for the most part, like, and I think this is true of any musician, if you have a sticky spot where you're like, I just can't get this down for whatever reason, there comes a spot where like you get it and then you don't ever lose it, and it can take a while depending on what it is. But once you have something, you're like, all right, whew, cross that off the board. I'm good now. But I think it really just comes down to taking the break. You have to. It's anything. Like, you can over video game, you can over anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what my my therapist had told me years ago. He basically said, picture your life as a canvas, and this goes for anybody out there fucking listening. The one person that actually stumbled upon it, or somebody that lost a bet and now you got to listen to our shit. But he said, picture your life as a whole, as a canvas. Now, you want to have as much of a complete picture before you pass on. It's like, but if you're focused on one area for too long and you like you're focusing on those details and trying to get everything right there, he's like, you're missing the rest of the picture.
Oh, for sure.
So every now and then, just take a step back and just say, all right, that's had my attention for a while. I'm kind of frustrated or burnt out with that part. Where can I kind of expand this picture and like get more of a complete picture?
Yeah. Are you like this at all? Because I'm the kind of person who I tend to like get very obsessive about like one thing for a little while, and I'll be like really hardcore into that thing, and then after a while it'll just kind of like fade off, and I'll find something else, or I'll get burned out, and so I'll do nothing for a little while and just kind of dive into YouTube or podcasts or something. Like, do you find yourself being that way too, where like you'll get hyper focused on something for a little while and then it'll drop or shift or whatever? Or do you stay kind of, you seemed from my perspective, you seem to be more or less consistent, like with the things that you're interested in and the things that you pursue. Like you're pretty, like I want to do this, that, and the other thing. Like you kind of know where you're at with that shit.
I mean, I don't know. It really depends on what it is. Like video games in general. I'll use that as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So I like RPGs. I like a good like RPG with a good story and like a story that makes me feel like I like have a connection with these characters and it builds up towards it and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the games that I bought a couple of years ago called Persona 5 Royal, I bought it for like $20 because I was reading an article about like, oh man, this is a great RPG. This is one of the best of all time, and blah, blah, and it's on sale at GameStop. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll give it a shot. When the game first started, I was like, all right, cool. Okay, I'm a kid in school, got convicted of a crime, didn't do. All right, wonderful. But as the game kept going on and on, I was getting more and more obsessed with it. I was just like, holy shit, this is fucking great. And then I come to find out,
oh no.
After 100 hours, like, hey, you didn't get the true ending. Like, what the fuck? Now I play through it again, just obsessing, like, okay, what do I have to do to get this? Okay, I got to do this, got to go there, meet this person, do this, go on a date with this girl, blah, 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 blah. Go through all that shit, and I get the true ending, and I was like, yeah, that was pretty good.
But was it worth going through the second time, or?
I mean, not really, because, I mean, you could go on YouTube and just be like, all right, well, what's the true ending? Like,
yeah, that's a pretty common thing now these days, though. There's, like, getting all these multiple endings.
Yeah,
I guess it's kind of a way to like extend the value of that game without having to have a whole other game or any like additional content or whatever. I guess it's kind of that idea.
Well, yeah, which I mean, I fully agree. If you're going to, if you're charging like, average AAA PlayStation 5 game is like $70 brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Switch games, the cost has gone up to like the new Mario Kart, for example, is $80.
Jesus.
So it's like, yeah, if you guys are going to start charging that much, like you've got to stock it with shit like to justify that fucking price.
Make it worthwhile. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much games cost when I was a kid in original Nintendo came out because, I wasn't buying them. My mom was. I would assume they were probably a good $20-$30. But, like, that's still not bad. Like, and for a while, I remember you could buy, like, a PlayStation 2 game for, like, what, $40, $50? Maybe the really crazy top-end ones were, like, $60 if it was, like, Final Fantasy 7 or something like that. But, like, for the most part, you could get some pretty cheap games, but nowadays, just the thought of dropping $80 on a game just blows my mind. I couldn't even imagine. I don't even game enough to make it worth it anymore. I don't game at all, really, anymore. It's one thing that dropped off for me.
So two things. Like, number one, I've spent $100 on a video game before.
Ouch.
Well, no, because it was for, like, special edition of, like, I love Final Fantasy 7. Like,
I knew it was going to be Final Fantasy 7.
Well, yeah, that's one of my top 3 favorite video games of all fucking time.
Oh,
so
I
when
know.
they announced the remake and whatnot, I bought the special edition for the first one. I bought the special edition for the second one. So the second one, I spent $100 on it. It came with obviously the game. It came with an art book, a soundtrack, and like a couple other like downloadable stuff. And I was like, all right, you know what? That's cool. Like that's the extra stuff. Like, all right, I don't mind spending $100 on it. If I wanted to spend an extra like $150, I would have gotten the fucking giant Sephiroth statue.
Oh man.
And I'm like, well, too bad my job pays like shit. So
Oh man.
yeah, but I mean, it's so like spending like $100 on that. Like, if it's something I'm truly passionate about, like, all right, I'll do what I can.
Yeah. See that makes sense. If you really like the game or something, then yeah, sure
But
that
like
would make sense. But
the games that really fucking kill me, for example, are like the new like EA Sports games.
mm,
Because like number one, they have no fucking competition. Like you take the like the Madden franchise for example,
it's gone.
they have. Oh no, that's
Oh,
no,
or is it EA now?
it's EA, but
Oh.
EA makes Madden. But Madden is the only like NFL football game that you can get. So the problem is like they have no competition. They have no reason to try and make the game better.
Yeah.
So, and like not only that, they fill it up with microtransactions. Microtransactions, for those that don't know, is shit where it's just like, oh hey, in the game you can spend this amount of credits if you start grinding. Trying to think of an example. A good example is Madden 21. Um, it was like 130 something thousand credits. Like if you play the game, you do things, you get credits for it, and then you can apply that to buy everything. Or you can buy those credits in advance, and then you can spend it on that.
Mm.
If you wanted to get a uniform with moss on it, now keep in mind this is a game series. They make a new one every fucking year, or at least they new one every fucking year. How much in 2021? How much would you have expected to spend on like actual cash on a uniform that just has green moss on it?
I would hope no more than $5.
$18.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah, that's insane. And they're doing it because they're like, well, fuck it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the thing is like I feel like especially sports games, and granted I admit I haven't played games in video games in a long time, so I'm out of the loop. But from when I was playing games, it seems the trend was starting to move towards like just kind of not literally but reskinning the game, where basically whatever last year's game was, we just basically take the same thing, make a few modifications, obviously move the players to their proper teams now that they were traded and shit like that, update the uniforms, blah 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 blah. Minor updates, but it's effectively the same game, but you're also going to charge like another $10 for it because it's a new year and blah blah blah. Like
Yeah,
that's
like
ridiculous.
literally FIFA did that. I think it was 2018, 2019. Like the only thing they did was just they changed the lineups on the team to reflect how they were in real life.
That's so dumb.
They didn't add anything. They didn't improve graphics. They didn't do any of that shit, and they still had the nerve to charge like $60 for it.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
Yeah,
And
it's
now,
like no.
are you aware at all of this whole Stop Killing Games initiative that's going on?
Don't think I am.
Okay, so there's a guy who I used to watch with fair regularity on YouTube. His name is, or he goes by Accursed Farms. His name is Ross, is his real name.
Oh wait a minute. I think I remember you telling me about this. Like they kill off a server for a game and like you no longer have it and shit.
Yeah. Like one of the examples is this game, The Crew, that basically was entirely hosted online, and I don't know how much they charged for it, but it doesn't matter. The point is they sold a game that you can't have anymore, and so what he's trying to do is to stop that from happening, and not necessarily to say like, hey, you have to support the game forever, because obviously that's unreasonable, but to say at least give us an end of life plan so that we know when we plop down our money, like if we're going to put 50, 60, $100 into a game, at least tell us, hey, just so you know, in like 2, 3, 5 years, this game you might not be able to play it, because then maybe I'll think about plopping down that money on a game that I'm not going to have in that time frame. And I think that's more than reasonable. I mean, anything else you buy, you have a relative expectation of how long it's going to last you, even if it doesn't outright say like, hey, expiration blah. Like you still know, hey, if I buy a watch at a store, this isn't gonna last forever, but like it should last, maybe a year or two if it's cheap.
Yeah.
But like have a reasonable expectation for when that stuff's gonna end.
What I would like to see happen, instead of like, hey, give us like 5 years with it or whatever have you, is don't make me think that I own the game because I bought it.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause really, if I go on like PlayStation Store or Xbox Store or whatever, like I'm paying to just use the license until their contract expires with PlayStation or whatnot. If it's not renewed, then I lose the game.
Yeah.
What I would like to see them do is give me two options. Like either option A, okay, give me the digital version and whatnot, and say you pay X amount, and you have the game on your system for 5 years, whatever. Fine. Or if you want to, you can use this price, and we will mail you a physical copy of the game.
Mm.
So that way, hey, I've got it. Because good example. Like I'm sure you played the Simpsons arcade game back in the day, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that used to be on Xbox Marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Not
People
anymore.
woke people woke up one day, it's gone, and Xbox was like, "Oh yeah, you guys don't actually own that stuff."
That's so ludicrous.
It's like, good fucking god. Then what? It's like, then what again? What am I fucking buying?
Right.
It's like if I'm paying money for something, I should have something.
Right. That's
Yep.
his whole point, and that's what he's basically trying to get. I think it's like 1 million signatures in basically countries that are part of the EU to sign this thing into law. Basically, that'll make it so that game companies will have to do something about this kind of thing, and you know, I don't know if it's going to succeed or not, but basically his thinking, I guess, was that going through the EU will set a precedent that is easier to do there than it is anywhere else, like than say here in the United States or anywhere else. So, however, if you just get the foot in the door kind of thing, it's at least a step in the right direction that maybe other countries and other whatever will follow suit, you know?
Yeah.
So, and
Which
I'm all for that because listen, I don't play games anymore, but I'm a firm believer that when you buy something, like you own it, you should. And if it's going to expire at some point, you got to tell me, like
yeah.
it just makes sense.
The other thing I'd like to see them do is that if you are buying like a digital copy of a game or whatever have you, or like renting the license, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do they tell you like, okay, this is when it's planning to expire, unless the contract gets extended or whatever have you, which if it does, we'll let you know.
Mm.
But the digital games should be cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it, they're not spending money on packaging, they're not spending money on the disc, they're not
Right.
spending on the case, they're not spending money on the shipping.
Right.
It's if I've got the choice between going to GameStop and getting a game for like $70 that I can hold like like an old school fucking record and shit,
Right.
or pay $70 for the fucking digital copy, which who the fuck knows when that's gonna get knocked off of my goddamn system.
Right.
I'm going with the physical copy. Fuck you.
Exactly. Dude, it's so funny we're talking about this because I just thought, like, because you just mentioned a record and we're talking end of life stuff for software. And I had a big bad problem on my hands recently, and this took up a significant chunk of my time. My band Down Boys, because we played the song My Kind of Animal on this podcast a couple weeks ago. I want to say second or third show in we did.
I think so, yeah.
And at the same time we recorded that song, we recorded another song that we're going to be releasing in August. Okay, cool. Well, we had most of it completed, but we still had to do a few things here and there, and I had to mix it and master it and blah, 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 blah. So I wasn't done. And I was starting to run into this problem with the software that I use. It's called Cakewalk by BandLab, and you have to activate it every so often. I think it's like every 6 months. You have a free BandLab account, and then you get Cakewalk for free as part of that, but you still have to reactivate it every 6 months or so that you can still save and export and blah, blah, blah. It'll still work. You just can't save or export, so it effectively makes it useless. So I was getting these warnings saying my activation's going to run out, activation's going to run out. I'm also reading online they're getting rid of the software entirely because they're moving to a different tier. They're going to make you pay for it, basically. And I was like, oh, shit, that sucks. No more free option. And so it came time, but before, like, my activation for whatever reason ran out like a month before they were going completely end of life, and I was not able to reactivate it. So there was a solid month where I was completely hosed and had no way to export all of my work and everything to at least move it to another platform, and my shit just died, basically. And I was like, oh my god, all that work is gone. That's fucking ridiculous. Fast forward like a week or two, and they announce, hey, we're actually going to release a free tier version of Cakewalk Sonar. They're moving to this thing called Sonar. It's going to be called Cakewalk Sonar. You can download that and use that for free. You can import all your old stuff, blah, 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 blah. I downloaded it. I use it. Thankfully, everything's working. But for like 2 or 3 weeks there, I was in full panic mode because I'm like, we have to completely redo this whole fucking song. Just because they were like, hey, you didn't reactivate, and it's end of life now, so I guess we're just not going to let you reactivate. Sorry, pal.
Yeah, so that's on you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
hours
But
of work just gone, just because it's close enough. What's a couple weeks? You don't need time to export your stuff and back up your work and save it so you can move it to another platform. Nah, fuck you.
you'll be fine. You look like a smart kid. You'll figure it out.
Thanks, Cakewalk. Appreciate you. Love you. So yeah, there's been a lot of just weird, stupid shit like that, and it's just like there's some other shit that I know we've talked about that I can't really mention, but I would love to. But maybe someday if we ever do a pod, even though no one listens, maybe someday when we do a podcast where shoot nobody listens, then maybe we can chat.
I mean,
Let us cast after dark.
I mean, wouldn't that just be a phone call between you and I?
That's effectively what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know about some of the Outlaw Mud Show bullshit I've been
Oh
dealing
yeah. My ear is still ringing from you doing.
God damn. Oh yeah, I was cutting promos.
Like a chihuahua on fast forward.
That's true. I was cutting promos at high speed.
Yep. And I didn't want to feel left out, so I cut a promo in too.
Yeah.
Yeah, which. Yeah.
But yeah, all software, man. If you're gonna go any product, if you're gonna go end of life, say something, man, and not within like 2 weeks time. Like give some warning, give a heads up, because like people spend, even if it's only $20, like not for nothing, the software that I was using was free, but I don't care. Like I didn't pay anything for it, but like I should still have a reasonable expectation for something that I use to know when it's gonna fail, because otherwise, like your product sucks. You know, if it could fail at any time, then why the hell would I use it?
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, they do the same thing. Like if you do like oh hey, sign up for a trial with this, try it out for 2 weeks or something like that. Then okay, I at least know, hey, I've got 2 weeks to try this out, see if I like it.
Right. The other kind of bullshit thing about the new version is that there's this start screen now that appears to give you the option to buy a membership because it'll unlock additional features and stuff. But it's up there for like 15 seconds, and you have to wait for the little thing to count down and be like 15, 14. And then finally you can say, okay, continue with evaluation, and then you can go about your work. Ugh. It's like, and it's only 15 seconds, so, it's enough time to, grab a drink or smoke or whatever the fuck, but, like, it's still set up a mic, whatever, but it's still just...
It's still,
why?
It's just like... Yeah, but then again, it's, there's people that are ready to go. It's just like, all right, let's boot this up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Right.
I'll get a drink. Already fucking got one. Well, I got to set up the mic. Mic's already set up.
Right. I tend to be that person that I'm already good to go. So if you're making me wait 15 seconds, it's only 15 seconds, but goddamn, I'm ready now, motherfucker.
Yeah. Like, how dare you? I want to do this now.
I was born ready.
See, 15 seconds, that's just enough time to go down to the Baja. Get yourself some pancakes and scrambled eggs.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Crazy times.
Yeah.
Crazy times. My car needed a shitload of work, so I had to... And oh, man. So, like, I thought it was dropping an exhaust or something. It turned out to be the heat shield, but it was, like, slowly getting worse, so... I was planning to go Wednesday after work to have it looked at, but it got louder after band practice that night or the night before, whatever. It got louder, so I brought it in like the next day and had to miss like a whole freaking day of work to bring the car over, walk over there, bring it back, and it was a whole load of shit, man. And this was after I already dropped like $1,000 on it, like I don't know, less than a month ago for some other service that it needed. So this was only like $100, but still, it's like there's another $100 that I'll never get back.
Yeah. But I mean, it's one of those things. Like it kind of fucking needs that.
It kind of does. Yeah, you can't be having your heat shield dragging on the ground. That's no good for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like my mentality with the whole thing is like if it's like tires, engine, brakes, shit like that, where it's just like this shit needs to get done. Like get it done.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was brakes the first time around. That was the major thing. And then I got it back, and then it started making noise that I thought was exhaust, and I was like, oh, you motherfucker. Well, they also did an alignment and other stuff, too, but, like, the main thing was brakes.
Yeah.
So, which, yeah, you kind of need those.
I know I got to bring my car in for another oil change in like probably about 3-ish weeks with the amount of driving that I do.
How often do you get an oil change, would you say?
Probably once every like 2 months.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, because you figure like just work alone, I'm averaging about between 700 to 750 miles a week.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. And like I get the synthetic one, so that's good for like 6,000 miles every change.
Right.
So you figure that like, hey, I'm getting this done in like 2 fucking months.
Damn, dude.
Yep.
The average is what, like 3 months, right?
If you do like regular oil, it's supposed to be every like 3 months or every 3,000 miles, whichever happens first.
Yeah.
Synthetic is like 6,000 miles, and I don't know how many months, but yeah, but like synthetic is also better like for your engine to like prolong its usefulness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised nobody's coming to dump synthetic oil on me. Like, we just want to prolong your usefulness here. You don't know what it is yet, but
There's my stupid son. Gotta dump oil on him just to get him to be useful.
oh god damn it, dumb son. Oh, should have named him Exxon Valdez.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, but
I'm gonna need one. I'm gonna need an oil change pretty soon myself. I think I'm coming up to like less than 1,000 miles until my next one, or somewhere in that neighborhood. So it's not gonna be long.
yeah, I know. I got to get oil change done in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna have them do a wheel alignment, and then I think probably a couple of weeks after that, I have to probably have a tire replaced.
A tire replaced?
Yeah, because like it's the tread's running low. It's not like at a point where like I'm like, holy shit, this has to get done now or whatnot. But it's like I see like how low the tread is. I'm like, you know what? I can at least probably get another month or 2 out of that. Because like I've already had 3 of the 4 tires replaced on my car.
Wait, you only did 3 out of 4? How did you even manage to get only 3 out of 4 replaced?
Well,
usually
one of them
they do them in pairs.
No, you can buy one tire if you want.
Oh. I didn't know that. I thought you had to buy them in pairs.
No.
I mean, they're tires. They're not called tire. They're called tires. You know, you buy them in pairs. Goddamn. That's a fresh. I mean, how do you buy your tires?
At a store.
But not in pairs.
Yeah, like you can literally go, like the place that I go to, like you can literally go on their website, schedule it, pick out the tire that you want, and they'll give you the fucking price and like, hey, here you go, just drop it off in the morning.
Just
you can get one tire. Yes.
Oh. I'll have to try that sometime.
All right, Bruce, let me put a hypothetical situation here. All right, let's say you're driving along, and you get a flat tire.
I'm buying 2.
No, you're not. You fucking liar. Goddamn smart ass.
You gotta, wear them evenly. You can't just buy one.
That's why you get them rotated.
That's why you buy 2.
You're not, Bruce. I know what you're doing. I'm gonna be there in about 45 minutes.
Oh shit.
Fucking tire you.
It's like donuts. You buy those in pairs because donuts. You don't buy donut. You buy donuts, multiple. Just how it is.
I think I realize now why you never became like an English professor.
It's all technicality, sir. It's all semantics. It's all ceramics, as I like to say.
It's Bruce writing the novel. It's like, that's when he stole the Maltese falcons. Like, no, there was one falcon, right? No, falcons. You get them in pairs. You don't just steal one of them. There's 2 of them.
It's like the Lone Rangers.
Yeah. than one of you. You're not exactly low.
I ain't farting on no snare drum.
Such an underrated movie.
Oh, it was, man.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch that one again, too, to be honest.
Yeah, go watch it, man.
I might.
You might.
I might. I got shit to do, sir. I don't watch a lot of shit.
Well, yeah, you got 15 seconds to wait until you're fucking...
Until my thing loads, yeah. I can watch things in 15-second intervals now.
I mean, that's quick enough for a game of AEW baseball.
It's true. Oh my god. We still have to get together sometime and play some of that, because that is hilarious. That game is just so absurd.
Oh my god, it's so fucking... It's silly.
Dumber than a bag of hammers, but it's entertaining.
It's the game itself is bad.
Yeah.
That game, it's bad. But it's like the Killer Clowns from Outer Space of games, where like it's bad, but it's at least entertaining.
Right. What the goddamn to do?
Give me back my Pooh Bear! I'll tear this place apart with my bare hands! Where's that guy's Oscar?
All right. I'm sure that guy is long dead, but man, he was a treasure.
God damn, he was a scene stealer.
We've been losing a lot of like celebrities recently. Have you noticed that?
I have, yeah.
Like a lot. Like we just lost Julian McMahon. Not related to, goddamn pal, the other McMahon from Australia.
Yeah. Like I never watched like much of his stuff, but I was like, oh shit, okay, I know who he is. That sucks.
I gotta say, I liked him as Doctor Doom. Like that Fantastic Four movie wasn't fantastic, but
yeah, both of them.
Well, yeah, either one really. But him as Doctor Doom wasn't bad. I thought he's just a natural heel.
Well, yeah, he's a natural heel, but it's also like, Brandon Routh wasn't a bad Superman. He was a good Superman with a bad script.
Yeah,
and that's what I think he was as far as like Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see like what Robert Downey Jr. does to it, but
yeah, especially since he was already Iron Man. I mean, they've already done that where they've had someone be two different roles before with the whole Johnny Storm and all that Captain America stuff. But
yeah, but this is supposed to be like where like he's like Tony Stark in a different Earth, but instead of becoming Iron Man, he becomes Doctor Doom. It's like, fucking why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Yes.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I don't really like that change, to be honest. But
yeah, it's
But I don't write the shit.
Yeah, but it's the thing of like, all right, let's say you're writing a Fantastic Four movie, like, all right, who's gonna be the bad guy for this one? We need like a really big bad guy to fucking like put this team to the test. Like, all right, how about Galactus? Okay, great. That sounds great. What if? What if, bro? What if we give him a swerve? Instead of it being Galactus, like the one from the comics, it's a different Earth where Captain America becomes Galactus. Get out, you're fucking fired.
Stevie Richards has a similar thing that he talks about on his podcast. Shout out to Stevie, because I love his podcast. But he's like, the number one thing that can go wrong in wrestling basically is like when somebody will say, hey, you know what would be cool? Or, hey, you know what nobody's ever done before? That's the time that shit goes wrong. Like, hey, you know what would be cool is if I stop.
Yeah. I mean, to phrase it another way, hey, I got an idea.
I got an idea.
I got an idea.
Oh man, I've been listening to that podcast again too. Like in between Stevie episodes, I've been going back and listening to Something to Wrestle With, because that's a great show, man. Still is, still holds up.
I'm not too crazy about it now, just because like it's not
Bruce.
It's not Bruce, and like Bruce has got, almost 50 years of stories, like
yeah,
to fucking tell between him like starting off and the whole shit with Vince and everything. Now it's fucking JBL, which it's like,
it's John o'clock, motherfucker! I can't believe it! Get in there!
Yeah, it's that. I was never a fan of JBL as a wrestler.
Me neither.
From the stories I've heard, I'm not a fan of him as a human being.
I've never liked him, especially after that whole meanie thing. And
Well,
I know Meanie and him are cool, but I'm still like, dude, fuck you. I don't know.
well, the meanie thing, and then there was another announcer that he used to just like bully the shit out of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so much that the guy essentially was just like, get me off of the show. He went to like SmackDown for a little bit, and then just ended up leaving the what's his name? Mauro Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Yeah.
Apparently, he was bullying the fuck out of him. He was bullying the fuck out of like former ring announcer that they had, Justin Roberts.
Wow, that's bullshit.
And it's that same, like, I think he used that same fucking tactic of like, you bully the shit out of somebody. Oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. I'm just ribbing you, pal. It's like, no, it's not.
There's a line.
Yeah, like there's a line. You severely fucking crossed it.
Yeah, like going back, listening to the old Something to Wrestle With. He talks about like Owen's ribs, and he talks about like the difference of like Owen's ribs were funny, but they weren't like mean necessarily. Like people would shit in other people's bags or piss on their stuff or do like legit mean stuff to people, whereas Owen would, for example, cut all the laces on one of your boots or just outright steal one of your boots and like make everything look like he never touched it. But like he wouldn't like shit in your stuff, like he wasn't destructive to a point, like, or minimally destructive.
Yeah, it was just more of like, hey man, I'm just fucking with you. Let's go have some fun.
Right.
But like, yeah, JBL's equivalent would pretty much be like if you were like walking down a set of stairs and he trips you and you fall down the fucking stairs, you end up in the hospital. I was just kidding, man. It was a joke. Can't you take a joke?
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, get fucking go to jail.
Oh man.
It's like fucking Bob Holly with that kid on Tough Enough.
Oh yeah, he beat the shit out of him.
Beat the absolute shit out of him. Then he beat the shit out of somebody else at a fucking Royal Rumble. It's like, dude, like you're trying to like build these guys up because like you don't have much time left. These are the next ones coming in. Like you need to teach them, not beat the fucking shit out of them. Like
yeah.
it's like if they have a receipt coming, like all right, I got you, fair's fair, but like you don't just beat the shit out of them and just be like, well, you got to prove that you're tough. You're tough. Like it's not the way shit works anymore. It's not the fucking 1970s, man.
Right. People don't have to legit beat other people to remain champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of reflective of like the mentalities nowadays of like, back in the 1970s, it's like, oh, I don't take any time off for work. I bust my ass and blah, 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 and you move up the corporate ladder. It's like nowadays, if you work hard, like nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. Well, going back to Carlin, you know why they call it the American dream is because you got to be asleep to believe it.
He's right.
Yeah, it's still true. I can't help but like I think about this a lot. I wonder what people like Bill Hicks and Carlin and Richard Pryor, like what people like that, those kind of comics and social commentary kind of people would say nowadays, because I'm sure they would have endless material, man. Endless material. With everything that's happened since, like, let's go back 30 years. Like, a lot's happened in 30 years, man.
Yeah. I mean, just not even 30 years. Let's just say the last, like,
10,
15.
Yeah. I mean, COVID was only 5 years ago, and that was a big fucking deal. It's still kicking around, obviously. It's not like it's gone. Never will be, I'm sure.
No, it's still kicking around. We're still seeing, like, social effects of it, too.
Yeah.
Of, like, people just being fucking pricks just because they can be a fucking prick. And they think, oh, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm an American, which is the dumbest fucking excuse.
There's a lot of entitlement, for sure.
Yeah. It's just you come off as such a prick if you use that thing of, like, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to get arrested. I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm an American. It's like, no, you broke the fucking law, you dumb shit.
They just changed the laws up here in New Hampshire, actually kind of going back to cars, but still speaking about laws, like they passed a law where it's no longer going to be required to have a state inspection for your car, which I think is a little banana.
I think somebody's getting paid off for that shit.
Because the other thing is, and I asked somebody, like, you don't necessarily need to have insurance on your car if it's fully paid off either. So that means, like, that's a terrible combo, because you could go buy like a real shit box for like $2,000, and you don't have to have it inspected. So you could be driving around just a real piece of shit, and it's legal technically.
Yeah.
They have that shit in Florida, and my bass player, whose dad lives down there, shout out to John and his dad. His dad lives down in Florida, and he goes down and visits him, and he said that you go down there and there's just all kinds of shit boxes, like cars literally held together with tape and stuff, and it's like, because they have the same thing, they don't have state inspections. My buddy Corey, who also lives down there, shout out to Corey, told me about that. So
Yeah, I know. I think it was. I don't remember if it's Virginia or West Virginia. One of those states just passed a law, basically saying like, "Hey, you can't use your phone hands-free anymore. It doesn't matter if like you have it on like that, like on the window or whatnot, like suctioned on there, and it's still hands-free or whatnot. If you're using Bluetooth for a call, or even if you're using it for GPS, you cannot have it there anymore. If somebody sees a phone up there, they're going to pull you over and they're going to give you a ticket." And it's like, well, okay, what if I'm somebody like from out of state driving through it? I have no idea about this fucking law. Now essentially you're swindling me out of, a ticket for however much it is, be it $100 or $500 or whatever the fuck it is.
yeah, although I think the expectation is if you're traveling out of state, the expectation is you should know what the laws are in that state. And that's totally unreasonable.
Yeah, but I mean, just
unless it's something really stupid that they're popping you on.
Yeah, but I mean, just for a simple example here, like if you're driving down to, let's say you're driving down to like South Carolina or something like that, and you got to pass through there. I don't know if my geography is correct. I wasn't exactly an A student, but my point being, if you're driving through there and you have this GPS because you're like, fuck, I don't know where the fuck I'm going, and they pull you over and it's like, nope, we're gonna give you a ticket for $200 or whatever because you have your phone is active. It's granted it's hands free or whatever, but your phone is still active. You can't do that here. It's like, well, what the fuck? How am I supposed to find where the fuck I'm supposed to go?
Yeah, I don't know what they would do in that case. I mean, I drove down to Tennessee and I thankfully didn't run into anything. I never even got pulled over or anything. But I wonder how they would handle that. That's a good question. Because I would think that like, I mean, what are you supposed to reasonably do? I mean, in your home, I mean, that's a case where like you could even be aware of it, but like your point, what are you supposed to do? I mean, would you rather I use maps and like spread that across the dashboard and like I can't be in my phone, like what do you want me to do then? How am I supposed to get to where I'm going? Or what about cars where it's like newer cars, it's built into the car. You can't just turn that off.
Right.
Necessarily.
But if I don't have a newer car, like I don't have that like screen display or whatnot, like it doesn't have a GPS in it.
But I mean, would they pop you for even just that? Because it's like, I mean, technically that's a screen that you shouldn't be like. Is that okay?
I mean, technically, I don't know, but I would assume not, because they're not able to see that. But like if they see a phone hanging in the window, then that they're gonna pop you for.
Yeah, that's stupid. I do that all the time too because I don't have. I mean, my phone used to be able to connect to my car, but for whatever reason it can't anymore. So I just have my phone off to the side on this little hanger thing, and I use that for my GPS.
Yeah.
So I would get popped for that, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, if I didn't have GPS, I'd be fired from my job because I wouldn't know where the fuck I was going.
Oh, serious? I wouldn't know how to get around the corner most of the time.
Yeah.
I suck with knowing where I'm going, unless it's like literally like my neck of the woods. I got used to my neighborhood kind of quick, but
yeah, I can get used to like where I'm going like after a while. Like if I'm like working a route and whatnot, and I have like the same 5 stops for like 2 weeks straight, like after like day 3, I'll know kind of like where I'm going, and I can do it without the phone.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, well, now we need you to go somewhere down in like Westerly. I'm like, well, shit, I know how to get to the highway from here. I know basically how to get to the town of Westerly, but I don't know where I'm going in said town.
Right.
So, it's like, okay, well, what the fuck am I going to do now?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I'm very dependent on it myself, But,
yes.
I mean, what are you supposed to do? Got to get around.
You got to get around, and I mean, it's not only that, man, but it's also like, again, going back to like, okay, well, what the fuck are we going to do? Go to fucking MapQuest and print out the fucking directions? Do you want me to hire a fucking navigator here?
Right.
Like that shit's not fucking working.
Right. I need a co-pilot to come with me 24/7.
Yep.
You also need to dress in a walrus costume. Dude, I would pay to see that. A walrus navigator.
I would gladly let somebody pay me to do that.
Dude, Walrus Navigator, that's a band name. Ladies and gentlemen, Walrus Navigator.
Dude, Kevin Smith would hire you for every soundtrack of every
right?
movie he does from now until he dies. Like,
Oh,
Tusk
fuck.
2, now with the soundtrack by Walrus Navigators.
Oh, shit.
Just like cover Disturbed songs like, oh, wow.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I would pay to see that band.
Me too, man.
I would gladly pay money to see that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, holy shit, man. This is what we've been missing out on for the past few weeks.
I know. We gotta keep this going. It's hard because shit changes at the drop of a dime, and then we have technical issues or whatever the fuck, and you never know what'll happen here in the World Wrestling Federation, as they used to say.
Yeah, and then if something doesn't work out, we just go, well, best of luck in our future endeavors, kid.
Yeah, at least you're looking pretty vascular today.
Hey, Bruce, your arms are looking really muscular. You been playing extra guitar? I mean, I think if you pluck one of those strings, it's gonna go bink.
He's not too, listening to it now, his voice is not too far from, hey, if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? I know I would. I'm vascular.
I mean, it's similar in like that raspy kind of way.
Very similar.
It's similar in that aspect, but like I think it's more accurate. Like John, what's his name? John Laurinaitis and like RFK Jr. for example. Like that's kind of a similar voice.
Who's kind of similar to that dude from Beavis and Butthead. You boys. Yeah.
You little bastards! No vaccines for either of you. Oh God.
Oh my god.
I've been working on stuff in our downtime.
I can tell. You've been practicing.
Well, of course, I've been practicing. I've been trying to focus on cultures of other voices and trying to learn from those experiences. Bruce, do you have a story that maybe you want to tell the rest of us in a funny voice?
No, I don't do impressions, man. That's your shtick. Mine are few and far between and always bad.
I can do one impression perfectly. I just need a dumpster and a book of matches, and I just go, it's me!
The only one I've ever really gotten a pop on is when I do Dusty to Ed, the guitar player from Day to Attend. He loves my Dusty impression. Listen, baby.
I'm telling you right now, man. Like everybody, there's impressions that everybody can fucking do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like case in point. Can you do an impression of Macho Man?
Yeah, you know I can. Cream of the crop rises to the top.
There you go, man. You just kind of bring it down a little bit. Yeah, just like unbutton your shirt, yeah, just relax, get into the groove, and then freak out. Yeah. Everybody can do that.
It's true.
Ric Flair, maybe.
No, not that one guy in the fucking Iron Claw. Did you see that?
I haven't.
Go watch the Iron Claw, and then go tell me that anybody can do a Ric Flair impression. I dare you.
To be fair, I didn't say everybody can do a good one. Everybody can do one, but not a good one.
I don't even know that he was doing. He looked. There was a disconnect because my eyes saw someone trying to look like Ric Flair, but my ears heard something that I do not know who the fuck that was. You have to watch it. There's no way to explain it. You just have to.
I'll watch the clip of it and just go
yeah, at least watch the clip. The guy who did Harley Race did a really good job. The guy who did Ric Flair, I would have recast that shit.
But then again, man, I've lost so much fucking respect for Ric Flair. I mean, I don't even know if it would be worth my fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Ric Flair. I don't give a shit anymore. Fuck him.
Yeah, you might just be giving him attention.
Yeah.
God damn, sassafras. I think I'm looking for attention, you piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like, not only that, like that shit came out of fucking nowhere. For those that don't know what we're talking about, it was a couple of weeks ago. JR was giving an update about cancer treatment that he's undergoing, which, hopefully he's doing a lot better. I don't know what's going on right now, but
I thought they said he was in the clear, didn't they? Or am I wrong about that?
I don't know. I haven't heard any updates or whatnot. The last update that I had heard was this whole Ric Flair debacle.
All right. Well, I don't want to say that it's true because I don't know, but I thought I had read that or seen that recently, but maybe I'm wrong.
Hopefully he's doing good. If he's recovered, he's on the mend right now. Fucking mazel tov to him. Fucking let's go, JR. But a couple days afterwards, Ric Flair posted, I think it was on like Twitter, that JR's just looking for attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 days later, Ric Flair announces, "Oh yeah, I have cancer now."
Yeah, he has skin cancer.
Yeah, and it's like, first of all, fuck you.
And I'm sure he does. I mean, he was spotted out with like bandages and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's in poor taste. And I think he even did the thing like you're talking about, where it's like, I was just joking, and it's like, you don't joke about people's cancer diagnosis or any health diagnosis. Like, that's just fucked up.
Yeah, it's again, just go. Oh, I'm just joking around. I'm just ribbing him. It's just a rib. It's just a rib. It's like, no, fuckhead.
Yeah, you don't joke about that kind of stuff.
No. And like the second off, like if you were really that concerned, like did you call JR and say, "Hey man, I'm pulling for you. If there's anything I can do to help out, let me know. I love you." He comes out with a statement like that. And it's like, what the fuck did JR do to piss you off?
Yeah. Everybody that I've ever heard talk about JR has had nothing but good things to say about him. So if you're mad at JR, I don't know what that says, but
Yeah.
I've never met the guy. I can't speak to it, but I can't imagine that JR would be anything other than one of the sweetest human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
I just can't picture it.
I've never met JR myself, so I can't speak to that. But, again, the stories that I've heard of him, like at fan interactions and whatnot, like he genuinely like cares about meeting the fans, and he appreciates it when they give him his flowers.
Yeah.
Because he fucking deserves it.
Right.
And it's like you can say whoever's the best play by play and pro wrestling and whatnot. Like JR's number one at the top of the list with a fucking bullet.
And he's legendary for so many reasons. I mean, his time in WCW and then WWF and
and it's like I don't like Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon, like that. They were before my time, and I'm sure like they were great back in their day. I haven't watched or listened to them and whatnot, but like growing up, like while I was watching wrestling, there were three people doing the commentary. It was JR, Vince McMahon, Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, I think I started watching a bit before you because I remember hearing Jesse and Vince. I remember hearing Heenan and Gorilla, Heenan and somebody else too.
I'm pretty sure, like when I was a young kid, I was listening to matches, like watching along with them, and Jesse Ventura is like doing commentary and shit, but like
Piper even.
Maybe, but I mean, then again, I was probably so young at that point, like I just don't even fucking remember it.
Yeah.
But like when it really stuck to me was like when I started getting back into wrestling in like late '96, and like I'm seeing Steve Austin and Bret Hart going at it, and I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking great, man.
Yeah.
That's where I'm. I don't really like the earliest memory I have of like watching pro wrestling when I was a kid was. It was me and my brothers and my dad were watching pro wrestling. It's Lex Luger, and I forget who his opponent was, but we're watching this match and we're going like, yeah, go, blah 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 blah. And my dad's like, yeah, you guys know this stuff is fake, right? And we're just like, wait, how do you know? He's like, oh, watch, this guy's gonna hit him with a chair. Sure enough, like 2 minutes later, somebody's getting hit with a fucking chair, and we're just looking at my dad like, how the fuck did you know that was gonna happen? Like, what the hell? So it's like, all right, well, you kind of open the veils to it, at a young kid. It's like, tell a young kid, like, hey, Santa Claus isn't real. It's like, well, great, you ruined the fucking magic there. But, just now when I think back of, like, pro wrestling and whatnot, it's like back in that 95, 96 period-ish where, like, Bret Hart's still going.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, not only that, man, but I will say this. absolutely on record, Owen Hart was one of the most underrated wrestlers ever.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
Because he
easily.
could not only do technical stuff, but he could do high flying as well. That's one thing that Brett couldn't really do, is the high flying stuff. He was a bit too big for that. And even though Owen was a big guy too, like he had a big upper body and everything, but he could still move around like he weighed 100 pounds. It was insane.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not only that, but like I think
That's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
I love you for that.
He has 2 belts. I got 2 slammies.
You got any more you want to do?
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. I am not a nugget.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Sensation has joined the chat. Go home. Anyways, but no, I just look at it as like, without Owen Hart and like his ability, like we're not going to see like wrestlers of that type anymore. Like, you know, future until somebody else influences somebody else. But like, without Owen Hart, we don't see a Chris Jericho, which shit.
Maybe bad example.
Bad example, Lee off. But I think, you know, Owen Hart, like that style, like there's no Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
It's like Jeff could be technical. He was more of a he was like focused more on like the high flying stuff, but he could be technical if he needed to be.
Right.
You know, so
There aren't a lot of those technical high-flying hybrids. Usually it's a high flyer, maybe a brawler combined, or just straight up high flyer. But like, you know who else was pretty good at that kind of stuff was Pillman. Pillman was pretty underrated too, because he could high fly and he could also wrestle.
yeah, and then then he hurt his ankle and
then he was done. Yeah.
He was just done.
I mean, the same thing kind of happened with Austin. He obviously wasn't a high flyer, but his style had to change dramatically as his knees got worse and worse and worse. You could see the progression where he ended up being more of a brawler over time.
Oh, he had to be a brawler because of the neck injury.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's right. It was the neck, not the. I thought it was the knees, because he started with just one knee being messed up, and then it was 2 of them, and then it was 4, and that was weird because he only had 2 legs. And
snakes don't have knees.
oh my god, I forgot about that. Yes. Oh my god, now I gotta go back and watch that. Now I gotta go back and watch that too. Man, I got some homework, man.
Yeah, you do.
We should actually probably wrap this up soon. I've been holding in a piss for about 15 minutes.
All right. Well,
so unless we want to start swimming in the podcast. In the waters of urine.
Snakes don't snee and pee. They don't swim and pee.
I don't swim and pee.
Motherfucker.
Goddamn. Got any other fun stories though before we wrap this thing up?
I know I'd been like saving up some stories because we hadn't podcasted in a couple of weeks. That's probably gonna have to, carry over to the next one, just because like I don't want to be going on my phone like, oh wait, where was that story of this happening? And I went and got a cookie and.
Remember when you went to the movies and you got the popcorn thing? That was awesome.
Remember when you went to the movies and you didn't get a popcorn because you said you didn't like popcorn, and then you got a soda and some Junior Mints? That was half awesome.
It was awesome for me.
Great snacks, kid. Can't wait to eat them before you get finished with them.
Great finish, man. Can't wait to kick out of it.
No, so the only thing that I'll really plug is still doing good on the weight loss thing. So I'm down 77 pounds as of right now.
Well done, sir.
So huzzah.
Well done.
Trying to keep that up, kind of hitting a plateau with it right now, but doing all right.
But the main thing is to be healthy. It's not about the number, it's about being healthy, and you're fucking killing it. So.
Well, it's getting down to a healthy number.
But you're getting healthier. It's progress, sir. It's not linear.
Yeah, but I figure once I work on the physical stuff, I got to go back and work on the mental shit.
I can't help you with that.
Man, my therapist retired.
Oh, shit. I just popped the microphone there with that slam on the desk. Sorry if I killed your ears.
Snakes don't have ears.
No shit.
God damn it, I know that's you, Masked Bruce.
Stone Cold E.T. says. That's another good one, too.
But yeah, so I got nothing else to plug, man. What do you got?
Just my usual, man. You go check out my bands, Day to Attend, Down Boys, Marks and Gates. You can find us all on Facebook. I'm just going to plug there because all three bands are at least there. We also have our respective websites and yada, yada, yada. But come check out a show we mostly play in our neck of the woods, sometimes outside of that, but very rarely far beyond. But check us out online and all that good stuff. Cheap pop! Cheap pop!
You should probably explain what your neck of the woods is.
Oh, you know, right about here in Vishnevitz. No, in Manchester, New Hampshire. Cheap pop.
There we go. There's the Foley pop. All right, so that's gonna do it for us.
Hardcore. I'm hardcore.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sackless Bruce has entered the chat. We're gonna get fined for that one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gimmick infringement. Oh yeah, pal, we're screwed. Ha ha.
I'll be looking for a new co-host. Bruce, best of luck in your future endeavors, pal. Sorry, it's a budget thing.
Oh fuck.
Well, with that in mind, we're gonna wrap it up for this week. We'll see you guys next in a couple of weeks or whenever our fucking schedule aligns.
Yeah, and we'll do some video game stuff at some point too. I'm sure we'll figure that out.
Yes, once Bruce's schedule kind of calms down a little bit, my work schedule kind of becomes a little bit more clear, and you know everything isn't all fucky. I've explained that to Bruce off the air, and I'll tell him one day. But yeah, we will definitely be doing some video game stuff. If you want, leave a note in the chat. Let us know what video game we think we should play.
Put it in the doobly-doo.
Yeah. I mean, AEW baseball's already on there, so I mean,
yeah, we kind of have to.
We kind of have to.
Yeah.
It's a home run derby.
I'm also always game for Turtles, as you know, anything Turtles related.
Yeah, but it's I think in like other gaming videos, we've already played through like almost every Turtle game.
I don't give a fuck. Goddamn, pal. You like turtles, I like turtles. You're a tag team.
Doing bad impressions, man? What are you, smartass?
Are you smartass?
Smartass. So yeah, just leave a comment down below. Let us know what game you think we should play. I mean, my game collection is growing, so you know we're not exactly going to be short on shit.
Just like my cholesterol. It's growing. I don't know. I win for it. Next time, don't.
Bruce, how are things at home?
Busy. Show me on the doll where they hurt you.
Show me on the doll where you thought the impression was going to work. Oh, it's right about here in the crotch area.
My jokes are sick.
I can't do impressions today. My impressions are sick.
Oh, man.
But he wasn't did it anyways, because Bruce is a whore. And he likes a band with walruses. That are whores.
Walrus horse.
They're horses.
Oh, shit, man.
So, yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for us. We'll catch you guys next time.
Woo!